You have an entrepreneurial spirit, and I believe it was on your LinkedIn page that there was a quote that I would like to just kind of bring up here that you basically said, as an Iceman, a salesman, and in life in general, it has always been my goal to leave people with an impression that is so positive that they're eager for our next conversation. Treating people well and being attentive to their needs is the primary way I'm able to accomplish this. And one of the things that I want to say about that is anybody that's ever met you before, I'm sure you've got people that aren't a Paul fan, but I would say though anybody, you always have a positive attitude, and that exemplifies who you are as a person and as a business person. So the entrepreneurial spirit that you have, and is that something that was just innate, or is that just something that you had to cultivate over time?
Well, just to start with, I got to remember who I had write that LinkedIn profile for me and give them
Did you
a
pay them enough?
right. We have to revisit that, but
That's some good copy right there.
That's some good copy.
but I mean, that's honestly, that was probably a heartfelt statement. In all reality, it is how I feel, not just in my business world, but even personal world. That I can't answer your question saying that it was something that's just built into me or something that has developed over my life. But I just know that it's a lot easier to be kind than it is to be a jerk. And so many people out there, they put so much energy into just being a mean person, and it's like, why would you go out of your way to create that in the world whenever it's so much easier to just be kind? And you see it every time the phone rings and maybe their situation isn't what they want it to be, with maybe it's how much ice they have. We'll use that as an example. You talk to them for a little bit and you find out that, oh, it's not as bad as they thought it was, and you reassure them that you're getting taken care of, and you're on your way with it. But on the flip side, you have scenarios every day where you're trying to resolve an issue that you have, and somebody on the other side has no skin in the game, as far as like they didn't create the situation that you're in, and you're calling them to try to get it resolved, and you're being kind to them. Their thought process on how they resolve that issue and how their willingness to help you is completely different than how it would be if you're just an absolute jerk. And I think the sooner you realize that in life, it's a lot easier to just to resolve issues and take care of the things that need taken care of, and leave the conversation with everybody happy, instead of like, I can't believe I just took that phone call. Like, I'm going to add that to my top 10 list of jerks. And, because that is how it works. I mean, honestly, it's just a world out there where you're just like, come on, like, really? Like, that's how you're going to address the situation. You could have done it 100 different ways, and you choose to be the jerk. And it just leaves an impression on people that it's not pleasing. It's a bad taste in the mouth. And early on, I just kind of realized that you could get a lot more done if you just approach it a certain way. And I'll give you a story that my friends like to bring up. It's actually my bachelor party, the bachelor party that I had in Las Vegas.
All right, be prepared. We're going to have to do some heavy editing here.
So one of my best friends growing up actually lived in Vegas through that period of time that I was engaged and getting ready to be married. And so we decided to have a bachelor party out there. So 3 of us flew out. My buddy was already out there, obviously. We had a great weekend. And he's like, hey, the Vegas airport is always dead at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, no big deal. I'll drop you off. You guys will get right through the line on your way to go. So we pull an all-nighter. We roll in. He drops us off at the Vegas airport, 5 a.m. We walk into the door and we stop. It is packed. And it's like, we aren't going to make our flight. There's every line you could think of was, out as far as it could be. We get in the line and we work our way up to it. And we're to the point where you're getting right to that cutoff where it's like, okay, if we don't get checked in soon, our luggage might not make it. We'll probably still make the flight, but we may not get it our luggage on time. And we finally get to the front of that line, and I'm just kind of back there. My buddies took care of the whole trip, like good friends do for a bachelor party. And they're up there talking to the guy. I'm just kind of behind them, and they turn around. They're like, "We have to go get in that line." And we're like, "There is just no way that this is going to work," you know? And in that moment, I came forward and I started talking to the guy, and it was just one of those conversations that I said, "Hey, you know, you can do everything here that they can do over there. And in the time it's going to take you to do it, you know, just have this conversation. This could be done and we can be on our way. But if you send us to that line over there, they're going to have to rebook us. There's a lot of logistics that are going to happen to get us home, where you can just solve this problem right here for us if you want to do that. It's your choice, but you can do that. You can be that person, and we can all be on our way." And keystrokes, bam, bam, done. On our way, we went. We made the flight, and the guys are ever since. The guys always bring it up whenever they're just like, "You just like wowed this guy," and it just like there was no way he was going to do it, and then he just did it, and it was like just being kind. You know, that was a moment where you could choose to go one way or the other,
Right.
and you could absolutely flip out on that guy and feel like you were justified. And it's just not going to accomplish anything. He would have been happy to send us to the back of that other line at that point and just say, "I showed those guys today." But instead, just the approach on life and the conversation allowed us the opportunity to get on the flight and not miss it. And you know, there's probably a dozen other opportunities in life where the conversation could have went either way on pivotal moments like that really would have affected your day. And just choosing to be positive and kind made it happen. So, you know, I'd say everybody's going to get mad and have their moments. It's just the reality of life.
Telemarketers, right? So
right. You know, and I've plenty of those stories too. But the reality of it is that just choosing to be kind is a good part of it all. You know, it makes you a good person. You know, nobody has to love you or like you, but I always say, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and sleep well at night and say, "I'm doing the best I can," that's a good start.
This video is just a clip from a longer full-length video. If you'd like to go watch that one, I'm going to post it right up here so you can go watch that next. If you're enjoying the content, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? We'll catch you in the next one.